Hey, what is going on, guys? SpartanNJones there, and welcome to another GamesCast episode. This is episode 2. This time, I was going to do it as a backwards compatible type of GamesCast, but instead, Rumours came out, yesterday and a couple of weeks ago, where the new Call of Duty has been rumoured and leaked and everything like that, and it's just... I wanted to put my thoughts on these rumours. So if we start off with the first one, the first rumour was Bloodlines, which I would really like it to be Bloodlines. To be called Call of Duty Bloodlines makes a little bit more sense, because Bloodlines in my head would think about the origins of Call of Duty and going back to the start of things, where for Infinity Ward itself, they had the Modern Warfare series, then they've gone back and they did all like the war ones and the World War ones and like the Big Red One, stuff like that. They did those type of games, which to me Bloodlines would be Origins type thing. So if they go back to those type of games, it would be so good to go back to them, because at the moment, yeah, they like Black Ops 3 did well, but that was Treyarch's game, and then everything else, like before that, it was too futuristic. And then, well, Ghost didn't do well anyway, just because of how like the movement system went and how big the maps were, and just how the game played out. It didn't work out. But if they went back to boots on the ground type of like warfare, it would be so much better. And then they could just add in little types of things, like, I don't know, maybe like the setting could be something else. Because since I don't think Infinity Ward or Activision have the rights to the Modern Warfare series anymore. They can't do anything else with the Modern Warfare series, even though, Price is still alive. But maybe they could start up a new type of expanded universe at that type of scene. So at the Modern Warfare type scene, because if they only went over like a couple of like factions, and especially with Modern Warfare 3, it was set a little bit in the future, just a little bit in the future, which it worked out because it was like the start of World War 3, which making up like a World War setting, especially in like real times now, it could happen where pretty much COD could literally just be predicting the future, really. Especially for the Modern Warfare series, where they went from Modern Warfare 1, which was, I can't remember what year it was exactly, and then they went to Modern Warfare 2, which was more of like a 2000, I think it was like 7 or something like that, and then they went to Modern Warfare 3, which was like 2000, and I think it was like 13, 14, something like that, where it went a little bit in the future from where the time was set, and then they could do it again. They could go a little bit more in the future, since it's 2016 now, and then they could go a little bit more in the future, like maybe to 2018, maybe to 2019, or something like that. Maybe like on a millennium, or something like that, or like a New Year's type thing, where everything just shuts down, chaos happens, and something like that. Just the start of a new expanded universe where it goes through a year and that's it. Like it starts off in 2019, right near Christmas, and then it goes through that, and it goes to like New Year's, and then everything just goes to shit and just explodes and chaos happens and stuff like that. And then they start off with going into that like halfway through that game, and then it cuts off at a certain point, like a cliffhanger type thing, and then it goes into the next game itself, which would work pretty well, but people would get a little bit annoyed for them to actually wait 3 years to get into that type of game. And then another thought that's just coming into my head as well, Bloodlines could be anything else. It could be boots on the ground again, but it could be remakes, where they did it for the 360 version, especially for the 360 version, and I think it was the PlayStation 3 version, where they did Call of Duty Classics, where they remade the old Call of Duties and put them into that, where you could still do the multiplayer, you can still play it in the multiplayer type way. But if they remade some of the older ones and put it all into one disc, because I think they can now, they could do that pretty easy, because now you could just install all the games, and I think we've got quite a big hard drive now, so you can install all the games on there. I think Modern Warfare 2 was only a little bit, or maybe they could just remake the Modern Warfare series just into another thing and just made it Bloodlines instead, which it would work, since, Infinity Ward made the Modern Warfare series, they could do like maybe a mix of, if they've still got the license for the Modern Warfare series, they could do that. They could make it again and then just go back a little bit more, just to make it a little bit more of like a I don't know, like an origins to the Modern Warfare series. That's all what I would like. But if we go on to yesterday's rumor, which I'm dreading just to say, is CODs in space, or COD in space, not CODs in space. That's a fish, but COD in space, futuristic COD again. Do we really want that again? Like, seriously, futuristic COD, just stop it. just stop it. I know that Black Ops 3 did well, yes, but Advanced Warfare did terrible, and then Ghost did terrible, and they were both set in the futuristic type ways. Like, Advanced Warfare was the worst for futuristic, but then it seems like Treyarch is the only ones that could do a futuristic setting well. Like, they did Black Ops 3 well, and they did Black Ops 2 well, which they both worked out, because they were both futuristic settings, but in Black Ops 2 they didn't have a stupid movement system. They still had the regular, just run across the floor and just run, and that's it. And then in Black Ops 3, they have like a little bit of like a jetpack type thing, like a thruster, but it's not like you shoot up in the air and that's it. Like, you're miles up in the air and you can just stay there. It's nothing like that. It's nothing like you have a timed amount of a booster as well, which you have to regen by having your boots on the ground, which is fair enough. But I think, especially for Black Ops 3, the infinite sprinting doesn't really work as well. But if they made it more of like a, I don't know, something more of like a boots on ground, just normal sprinting, just you have to stop sprinting to get to a different place and stuff like that, be a little bit better. But if we get onto this CODs in space, it's something that I don't want, and say so down below if you guys want this or you guys hate this idea of COD in space, a futuristic COD again. Just seriously, it's just stupid. I know that in Ghost they did like a space scene, but it's coming from Ghost. Ghost was probably the worst game, as well as Advanced Warfare. It's probably two of the worst ones in the entire franchise. And this is excluding Modern Warfare 3, and I know that Modern Warfare 3 people like that because of like the infection mode, which, yeah, it was pretty fun to play, but the campaign was terrible. But like COD in space, I don't think they're gonna have like a different type of setting for the multiplayer. Still, they're not gonna have you floating around and everything like that, going to like a space station and you're just floating around in the space station. You're gonna be just in a space station. Or maybe, good idea here, it's gonna be COD Pirates. There you go. COD Space Pirates. Why the hell not? Just give the idea. You just see like a Russian satellite just drifting across and you're in the USA one and you just shoot them. Everything done. Like space battles. Done. Sorted. I've done the COD series in one. They're going to do Space Pirates and that's it. That's all they're going to do. But I just don't think futuristic settings are going to work anymore for COD. And as well, for other franchises as well, I don't think they're going to do it. Especially, I'm hoping that Battlefield 5 doesn't do this. The Battlefield series doesn't go into a futuristic setting. I please hope that they don't do that. I know that they've already done that, and it was fun to play, but I'm just hoping that they don't do that again out of everything. I think COD are trying to mix the like Activision's game of it, or Bungie's game of it, of Destiny, and just trying to mix it into COD just to make it work, because they're thinking that, oh yeah, like, Destiny did well, but it makes them, I don't know, like Destiny, the only reason why people were still playing Destiny is because of the loot grind and kind of the multiplayer. I didn't like the multiplayer, but everybody thought that the multiplayer was the best thing in the entire game. I didn't like it just because at the start of the game it was just fun and everything, and then if COD tries to make that as well, especially in Advanced Warfare where microtransactions were like an essential type thing, it wouldn't really work. It's like you have to have these type of things, you have to earn them, or you could just buy them for money and then you get some of the best guns in the entire game. Why not? and I don't know, if you don't have money to spend, you can't get any of the good guns, especially in Advanced Warfare, where I think that the fun went out of it was where like the movement system didn't work, and then, you know, as soon as people got some of the good guns, people just thought, oh well, there's no point in playing the game now. I'm never gonna get these guns, so there's no point in playing the game. But in Black Ops 3, where, you know, you can do microtransactions, but you could play like 3 games and get a normal crate just for like that. Or then you could just play like 9 games and get a rare one, an ultra rare one, which it worked out for like the balancing between you could buy them or you could earn them. And by earning them, you still get your ranks up, and then by buying them, doesn't benefit you at all, really. You're just wasting your money. But, you know, I don't know. Space Pirates and Origins, I don't know. From my experience, I'm just hoping that they just do Bloodlines, and that's it. Just the origins of Call of Duty. Go back to the origins. That's it. But the question is, do you guys want it to be boots on the ground, or do you want to be floating in the air out of everything? It's just something that is stupid, but it's a question that has to be asked, really. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. I was going to do a backwards compatible one. It might be next week, but then next week I might have YouTubers join me to discuss the backwards compatible or anything like that. And then in, I think, like 2 months' time, I'll be doing a video for E3. So I'll do 2 videos for E3 with mates, and then something like that. So in 2 months' time, it's going to be the E3 specials, where I'm going to do that with mates. So I'll do 2 videos of E3, and then I'll do 1 with backwards compatible with YouTubers, maybe for next week, maybe the week afterwards. It depends on if I can get YouTubers to join me, just timing and everything. And then, yeah, but if you've got a topic that I could discuss on this, maybe like over, I don't know, console changes or something like that, then say so down below and I will check it out and maybe do it. This one was just COD. I just thought I might as well do it since it's coming out. If you want me to still do the backwards compatible just for my opinions, and then the week after I do other people's opinions with YouTubers, then say so down below and I will do it. But any other topic that you can think of, then say so as well. And if you did like this video, then give it a like, and remember to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next video. So peace out.